Alrighty. We're just gonna take a couple moments, really bringing ourselves into the space and onto our mats. Finding a nice, easy seated position, maybe allowing our eyes to drift closed if that feels comfortable for you. And as we exhale, beginning to feel a rooted sensation down through our sit bones. And as we inhale, maybe rolling the shoulders up to the ears, and then allowing them to relax down our back. Starting to draw attention into our physical bodies. Seeing if we can begin to slow the mind while we're here. Lengthening up all the way through the crown of the head and rooting down through the spine. Inhale, rolling the shoulders up one more time. Exhale, seeing if we can sink even deeper into our mats. We're going to begin to slow our breath down. Beginning to breathe deeply into our belly as much as we can fill up. All the way up into our lungs. Once we get to the top of our breath, just holding it for a few seconds. Exhale, releasing everything out from our body. And just taking 2 more of those really deep, slow breaths. Seeing if we can really draw our attention to our breath. On your next inhale, we're going to sweep our arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to turn and twist over towards the right side, placing our right arm behind us, left hand on top of the knee. Inhale as we lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, twisting just a little bit deeper, maybe just twisting your neck. Being nice and gentle. Inhale, sweeping our arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to turn and twist over to the left this time. Placing our left arm behind us. Right arm on top of our left knee. And just twisting ourselves very gently here. Inhale as we rise up through center. Exhale, we're going to place our right arm down on our mat right next to us, reaching left fingertips over towards the right side. Staying deeply rooted in both of our sit bones here. Seeing if we can draw our left shoulder down out of our ear. Inhale, rising up through center. Exhale, we'll switch our arms. Drawing our left arm beside us. Reaching right fingertips over towards the left. Seeing if we can spiral our chest up towards the ceiling here. Inhale, both arms up through center. And exhale, we're going to hinge up the hips. And just gently begin to walk our arms forward. Seeing if we can keep both of our sit bones nice and rooted, keeping them from peeling up off of the mat here. Gently just reaching out in front of us, wherever feels good for your body. And just allowing your neck to hang heavy if that feels comfortable for you guys. One more exhale, releasing everything away from our body here. As you're ready, we're gonna make our way over into tabletop, whatever way you wanna get there. If you wanna roll over the knees, or if you want to set yourself up, we're gonna meet in a nice neutral tabletop position. So we're gonna take a moment, stacking our shoulders over our wrists, our hips over our knees. If you have any wrist problems, you can always send your wrist out a couple inches further. We're gonna inhale, sending our right arm out and our left leg back. Taking a moment to become nice and stable here. You wanna drop your left hip and pulling your right shoulder back just ever so slightly. As you're ready, we're gonna exhale, drawing our right elbow in towards our left knee. And inhale as we lengthen back out. Exhale, drawing it in, allowing it to follow your breath. And on your inhale, we're gonna lengthen all the way out, keeping a nice long neck here, looking down. Exhale one more time, pulling everything in to touch. And inhale as we lengthen out. Exhale, we're gonna drop our right arm and our left knee. Take a moment, just recenter ourselves in a nice tabletop. And as you're ready, inhale, reaching the left arm forward this time. And the right leg back. Making sure hips are square, toes pointing down towards our mat. Our left arm out as if we're gonna shake someone's hand. As you're ready, drawing your elbow in to touch your knee as you exhale. And inhale, lengthening everything out. Exhale, drawing everything in towards your midline as slowly as you can. Inhale, finding length. And exhale, drawing everything in. Inhale, lengthen back out. And then we're gonna drop our left arm and our right knee. We're gonna take it back to child's pose, sitting the hips back, melting the chest forward. Maybe beginning to walk your arms out just a little bit further, allowing either your forehead or your chin to rest on your mat. Whatever feels better for your neck here. Taking a moment, seeing if we can come back into that deepest breath. Seeing if we can draw a connection there. Seeing if maybe you can inhale so deeply that you begin to feel your back body expanding with air. As you're ready, we're gonna send our arms out long in front of us if they aren't already. Gazing up between the hands, we're gonna gently just make our way onto our belly and lengthening out our body. Our hands should be underneath our shoulders here. Grounding down firmly into the fingertips, into the tops of the feet as well. We're gonna do 3 rolling cobras. Inhale to roll up, pulling your shoulders back, elbows into the ribs, neck nice and long. Exhale, lowering all the way back down flat on our mat. Inhale, rolling it back up, maybe just a little bit more this time. Seeing how your lower back feels. And exhale, sending everything back down. Inhale, rolling it back up. Maybe seeing if you can float your arms up this time, just a couple of inches. Really pressing down into the tops of the feet. And exhale, sending everything back down. We're gonna send it back through child's pose. And slowly make our way back into downward facing dog. Pressing firmly into the hands. We're gonna gently just walk our feet out. Lifting the hips nice and high, melting the chest down towards the ground. We're gonna take a moment here to really just work out the back of our legs, seeing how they're feeling today. Maybe seeing if one side is tighter than the other and spending just a little bit more time on that leg. We're gonna stay here for 4 more breaths. So really checking in with our foundation, grounding down through our pointer finger, through our thumb, lifting the hips up and back, melting the chest down and drawing weight down into our heels. As you're ready, we're gonna look up between our hands and roll it forward into a high plank. Checking our alignment here. As you're ready, grounding down through our right hands, we're gonna roll over onto our right side, moving into side plank. Left arm to the ceiling. Maybe seeing if we can lift our hips just a little bit higher. And exhale, slowly lowering down onto your left hand. We're gonna switch, grounding down through our left arm, sending our right arm up towards the ceiling this time. You can always drop down onto your left knee as well, if it's too much strain on your body. As you're ready, slowly lowering down We're gonna lower down to our knees as we exhale slowly, hugging our elbows in towards our body, lowering onto that belly. Inhale up into baby cobra, keeping a nice long neck. And exhale, sending it back up into downward facing dog. And we're gonna work out our legs here again. As you guys are ready, we're gonna inhale, lifting our right leg just an inch off the ground. Inhale as we rise up onto the ball of our left foot. And exhale, sinking down. One more time, inhale, rising up onto the ball of the left foot. Exhale, sinking all the way down. This time, inhale, rising up to three-legged dog, right leg in the air. Looking between the hands, we're gonna place our right foot in the middle of our mat, lowering down onto our left knee. Inhale, reaching up out of the waist. Exhale, sinking down just a little bit deeper. We want to make sure that our knee isn't surpassing our ankle here. So we can always check in with that. We're going to place our left hand on the inside of our right foot, pushing, I don't know if you guys can see me, pushing our right knee out, ever so gently, maybe even rolling onto the outside edge of our right foot. And just beginning to breathe into our hips here. You should feel it in your hamstrings and in the outside edge of your hips. We're going to begin to bring your right knee back in towards center. Straighten out through the right leg. Pulling the right toes back towards the right knee, straightening out through the leg. Finding yourself in a half split. Beginning to breathe into our hamstrings, into any places of tightness, of tension. Slowly beginning to place our right foot back onto the mat, keeping a nice bend of the right knee. Left hand on the inside of the left foot this time. If you can, if it's in your practice, floating our left knee up off of the mat. And inhale, right fingertips up towards the ceiling. We're gonna be in a twisted lunge here. Maybe seeing if we can pull our right knee in towards our midline, really pushing out through our left heel here. Exhale, slowly lowering our right hand to the outside of our right foot. We're gonna step our left foot up to meet our right, finding ourselves in a forward fold. Allowing everything to hang heavy here. Really allowing the weight of gravity to pull down on your body. Maybe shaking out the neck, relaxing the neck, relaxing the face. As you're ready, we'll inhale to half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Reaching arms all the way out and up. From the up above head, we're gonna interlace our fingers, releasing our pointer finger and our thumb. Pulling our shoulders down out of the ears. Really grounding down into both feet. With our next exhale, take it over to the right side. Seeing if we can keep our chest nice and spiral towards the ceiling. Inhale up through center. And exhale, take it over to the other side. Inhale up through center. Exhale, forward fold, tracing down your middle line. Planting firmly into your hand, you're gonna step it back into high plank and move through your vinyasa. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. This time, we're gonna really ground down into our right foot, into our right heel. Inhale the left foot up just an inch or two. As you inhale, rising up onto the ball of the right foot. And exhale, sinking down deeply into that hamstring. Inhale as we rise up onto the ball. And exhale as we sink all the way down. This time we're gonna rise up three-legged dog with our left leg up in the air. Looking between our hands, we're gonna gently place our left foot in the middle of our mat, lowering down onto our right knee. Inhale, reaching up out of the waist. Exhale, sinking just a little bit deeper into our hips here. Seeing if we can pull our left hip back as we pull our right hip forward. Really drawing our hips into alignment here, keeping them nice and square. We're gonna lower our right arm down to the mat, to the inside of our left foot, taking our left hand, pushing our left knee out. You can just do like a slight push here if you want to push all the way onto the edge of your left foot. Please feel free to do so. Really seeing what feels good in your hips here. Beginning to feel it in your outside edge of your hips, also in your hamstrings. Slowly pulling your left knee in ever so gently back towards midline. And we're going to straighten out through the left leg. Pulling our left toes up maybe, and sitting back into our hips. Finding ourselves in half split on our left side. Seeing if we can lengthen out through the spine here. We're going to slowly find a bend of the left knee again. This time we're going to plant our right hand on the inside of our left foot. If it's in your practice, floating your left or your right knee up off of the mat, left fingertips to the ceiling. Now we're in a twisted lunge. Feeling a nice long line of energy all the way out through your left fingertips, from the crown of your head and also out through the back right heel. We're gonna slowly lower our left foot, our left hand outside of our left foot, step our left foot back to meet our right, meeting in high plank, and moving through your vinyasa, whether it's knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Really allowing your deepest breath to guide you through each and every pose. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inviting some movement back into our legs. Seeing if our hips feel any different. As you guys are ready, we're going to inhale, reaching our right leg up, back, and behind. Looking between the hands, planting our right foot in the middle of our mat. Inhale up into high lunge. Exhale, turn and twist to the right. Sinking down even deeper into our right knee, pushing it forward, directly over our middle toe, kicking out through our back left heel. Inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, arms to heart center. We're going to turn and twist to the right this time. Hooking our left elbow outside of our right knee. Really seeing if you can spiral yourself open, opening your heart just a little bit more here. Maybe even taking your gaze up towards the ceiling if that feels comfortable, or towards your right shoulder. Inhale as we rise up through center. And exhale, taking our arms down to the mat, stepping our left foot up to meet our right, and hanging out on a nice forward fold, grabbing opposite elbows in front of the knees. Really allowing your body to hang heavy here. Relaxing the neck, any tension we find. We're gonna roll it all the way up into a nice standing position as slowly as you can. Think about your body as if it's moving through honey. And we'll meet up at the top of our mat. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, allowing them to relax down. Meeting into Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reaching up out of the waist. Exhale, sinking the hips back, meeting in chair pose of Tadasana. In chair pose, think about your feet on the mat. really grounding down toe by toe. And as if they're on the mat, they're pushing away from each other, really engaging our inner muscles. Maybe exhale, sinking just a little bit deeper. Exhale, forward fold, taking it all the way down. Planting firmly into our hands and stepping it back, meeting in high plank. And moving through your vinyasa. And we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Beautiful. This time we're going to inhale, reaching our left leg up, back, and behind for three-legged dog. Keeping our hips nice and square here. Looking between the hands, planting our left foot in the middle of our mat. Inhale, reaching up out of the waist, moving into high lunge. Exhale, turn and twist, arms open to the left this time. Seeing if we can sink down deeper into our front knee while kicking out just a little bit more with our back leg. Really opening up our body towards the side of the room. Inhale up through center. Exhale, arms down to heart center, prayer pose. This time, turn and twist to the left. Hooking our right elbow outside of our left knee. Seeing if we can twist just a little bit deeper. Still kicking out through our back heel. Maybe taking your gaze towards your back shoulder. Twisting just a little bit deeper. Inhale as we rise it up through center. Exhale, taking our arms down to frame our left foot. Stepping it back, meeting in high plank and moving through your vinyasa. We'll meet back in down dog. And we're going to hold down dog for 3 breaths together. Seeing if we can connect back to that breath that fills our belly, fills our back body so much. Really feeling the prana energy out of our hands, out of our feet, pressing into our mat. Our prana energy lifting our hips up all the way towards the ceiling. And as you're ready, we're going to lower down onto our knees, sending our hips back, meeting back in child's pose. Taking any variation that feels good for your body. You can have your arms out. You can do prayer, arms behind your head. Whatever's feeling good for your body here. Seeing if we can bring our attention back into our practice, into our physical body. Beginning to clear any clutter out of the mind. Seeing how present we can truly make ourselves through this practice. Staying centered and grounded throughout each and every pose. As you guys are ready, we're going to send our arms out long if they aren't already. We're going to begin to flip our toes over, gazing up between the hands. We're going to gently place our forearms onto our mat, moving into a forearm plank. So sending our legs out long. We're going to hold for 3 breaths. Really grounding down into our entire forearm, starting with the pads of our fingers all the way into our elbows. Really grounding down into our feet here, pulling our tummy up and in, full elongation of the spine. As you're ready, we're going to keep our arms where they are, moving into dolphin pose, beginning to walk our feet in towards our upper body. And just seeing wherever they meet. Maybe bending into one knee and then into the other. Working out the hamstrings from a different angle this time. And we're going to walk our feet back out to a forearm plank and push ourselves back up into downward facing dog. As you're ready this time, we're gonna inhale the right leg up back and behind, opening up the leg, this time opening the hip. We're gonna point our right knee up towards the ceiling, really squaring out through the shoulders, rounding down into our left heel, inviting in some knee circles, some ankle circles. Maybe beginning to flip it over into wild thing, sending your hips up and back. Pointing your right fingertips towards the front of your mat. Lifting our chest, lifting our hips just a little bit higher. And gently making our way back over into three-legged dog. Looking between our hands, placing our right foot in the middle of our mat. This time we're gonna open up into warrior two as we rise up. Extending our arms out long, bending deeply into our right knee. Really pressing into the outside edge of our left foot. Grounding that down into our mat as much as we can. And exhale, sinking a little bit deeper into our front knee. As you're ready, flipping our right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Taking our right forearm to our right knee. Or our right thigh, left fingertips towards the ceiling. We want to make one long line with our body here. From our fingertips all the way out through our left foot. Maybe even beginning to lower right fingertips down towards the mat, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale up into warrior two. Exhale, sink deeper into your knee. Inhale as we reverse our warrior. Inhale to warrior two. And exhale, cartwheeling our arms down towards the mat. We're actually gonna straighten gently into our right leg this time. Bending over our right leg. And we're gonna slowly walk our hands into the middle. Both feet facing parallel, wide angle forward fold. Maybe beginning to bend into one leg and then into the other. Really working out our hamstrings here. Relaxing the head, relaxing the neck. Just allowing everything to hang heavy. We're gonna walk our hands over towards the right side. And just begin to stretch out our right leg. Inhale as we walk our hands through center. We're gonna take it over to the left side. Beginning to stretch out our left leg here. We're gonna hang out on our left side. We're gonna bend deeply into our left knee. Straightening out through our right leg. Maybe pulling our right toes up towards our right shin. If you can balance here, maybe taking arms to heart center. Maybe opening them out wide for balance. We're gonna try to stay nice and low on our mat, moving over to the right side, deep bend of the right knee. Left toes up towards the ceiling. We're gonna take it over to the left side one more time. And then in one big move, we're gonna take it over to the right, meeting up in high lunge, facing the front of the room. Exhale, arms down to the mat. Stepping our left foot up to meet our right. Inhale up into chair. Sink down deeply as you exhale. We want full elongation of the spine here, so we don't want to arch our lower back too much. We want full elongation. Maybe beginning to float our toes up off of the mat if that's possible. Exhale, forward fold. Planting firmly into our hands, stepping it back to high plank, and moving through your vinyasa. We'll all meet back in down dog. We're gonna inhale, reaching our left leg up, back and behind, opening up our knee towards the ceiling. Making sure our shoulders are nice and square. We tend to lift our right shoulder up here, squaring our shoulders. And then as you're ready, inviting in some knee circles, some ankle circles. If it's in your practice, working your way over into wild thing, dropping your left leg behind you. Inhale your hips, inhale your chest up towards the ceiling. Left fingertips towards the front of the room. And we're gonna slowly make our way back into three-legged dog. Looking between our hands, planting our left foot in the middle of our mat. As we open up, we spiral to warrior two on the left leg this time. Exhale, sinking down deeper into our knee. Really grounding out through both of our feet, the outside edge of our right foot. Sinking deeper into our left toes or left heel. We're gonna flip our left fingertips over, slowly lower, left forearm to left thigh. Right fingertips towards the front of the room. Keeping our chest spiraled open. Pulling our shoulder down away from our ear, creating some room there. If it's in your practice, maybe opening left fingertips up towards the ground, right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Really engaging our obliques here. Inhale to warrior two. And exhale to reverse our warrior. Inhale to warrior two. We're gonna begin to straighten out through the left leg, bending deeply here at the waist. Maybe walking your legs in may be more beneficial to you here. And then we're gonna slowly take it over into wide angle forward fold on this side. Making sure both of our feet are parallel and hinging at the hips. Allowing our body to hang heavy, our neck to hang heavy. We tend to hold a lot of tension in our face and our neck here. Seeing if we can relax everything just a little bit more. We're gonna walk our hands over towards our left leg. And maybe this time we grab our left foot with our right hand, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Still bending deeply at the waist. And the left fingertips find the mat as we walk it through center, over to the right side. This time, maybe our left hand grabs our right foot. Inhale, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Slowly lowering our right fingertips down. We're gonna bend deeply into our right knee. Finding balance here. Maybe if it's in your practice, if you wanna find a bind. Right arm behind your back. Left arm follows. Shining your chest up as much as you can. Toes up towards the ceiling. Slowly releasing a bind if you have it. Taking it over towards the left side this time. Maybe finding balance through grounding down through the floor, floating your arms up. Maybe taking a bind over on this side. Right toes up towards the ceiling, spiraling our chest open. Slowly releasing a bind if we have it, taking it over to the right side one more time. Staying nice and low on our mat. And in one big motion, we're gonna move into high lunge on our left side, left toes facing the front of the mat. Exhale, arms down, framing either side of the left foot. Step it back into high plank And moving through your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. Pull me back in downward facing dog. Looking up between our hands, we're going to gently walk our feet up to the front of our mat. Finding ourselves in a forward fold here. Really grounding down through our feet, maybe lifting up our toes up off of the mat, and then gently, intentionally placing them down one by one. As you're ready, finding a deep bend of the knee, we're going to roll it all the way up into standing position as slowly as you can. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, allowing them to roll down our spine. We're going to move into dancer's pose. So I'll do it kind of facing diagonal so you guys can see me. Grounding down into the left foot. We're going to keep our knees together, drawing our right foot back into our right hand. You can grab the outside or the inside of your right leg. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. On your next inhale, left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Taking a moment, adjusting, making any small adjustments that you need here. So if legs came apart, maybe tucking in the pelvis slightly. Maybe getting a good grip on your foot. As you're ready, exhale. As you kick your back leg into your hand, you slowly lower your chest down. Seeing if you can keep your hips and your shoulders nice and square here. Finding that drishti, that focal point on the ground a few feet in front of you. Anything that's not moving would be a good focal point. And just hanging onto that, kicking even harder one more time. Exhale, slowly bringing yourself back to standing. Keeping your leg at a 90-degree angle. We're going to grab the outside, or I guess just touch the outside of our left hand to our right knee. Right fingertips behind us. Taking a nice twist. And then slowly bringing yourself back to center. Lowering your right foot down to meet your left. And we'll go out at the left leg this time. So grounding down through the right foot. Maybe picking our toes up, setting them back down. As you're ready, we're going to glue our knees together. Kicking our left toes into our left hand. Inhale as we lengthen up through the spine, lifting our right arm up. And as you are ready, exhale, kicking into our hand as we begin to lean forward. Our chest should never drop too far that we feel like we're compromising our lower spine here. If anything, we want to kick more into our back leg rather than lowering our chest. Seeing if we can keep nice and square through our leg, through our shoulders. One more time, lifting everything up. Exhale, slowly lower it down. Keeping hold of your left knee, bringing it up to a 90-degree angle. We're going to touch our right hand to the outside of our left knee. Left arm back behind us, finding a twist. Seeing if we can hang on to that balance here. Maybe even beginning to draw our left knee in toward midline. Allowing everything to release, facing back towards center. We're going to shake it out a little bit. As you're ready, inhale, arms up above head. Exhale, sinking deeply into chair. Feet can be at least hip distance apart or legs together, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Sinking down deeper into the heels, maybe even floating our toes up off of the mat. And inhale up into a small back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Taking it down to the mat. Planting firmly into our hands. We're going to step it back all the way into down dog. As you're ready, we're gonna inhale, reaching our right leg up, back, and behind. We're gonna set up for pigeon prep here. So our right knee goes behind our right wrist, and our right ankle goes behind our left wrist. And so I like to set up and then slowly begin to move my leg back, sending my hips into alignment. The goal here, I know it's kind of difficult, we want our front shin parallel to the front edge of our mat. And then we want our hips over that. So if you have anything like a blanket or anything that you can prop underneath your right hip, if that feels better, please feel free to do that. It'll draw your hips into better alignment as we pull our right hip back, left hip forward. And we'll begin to hinge at the hips, melting the chest forward. And we're gonna just hang out here, really breathing into our hips, into our hip flexors, seeing how they're feeling. Seeing if we can keep our minds on our mat, in our body. Really decluttering any thoughts that may be going through our mind, any tightness, any tension. Seeing if with each exhale we can release just a little bit deeper into our pose and out of our mind. As you're ready, we're going to begin to place weight back into our hands, walking them in ever so gently towards our right shin. We're going to flip our left toes over and send our leg up and back into three-legged dog, opening up our hip, pointing our knee towards the ceiling, and just working it out with some ankle circles here. Or really taking any movement that feels good on your hips right now. And then just gently placing our right foot back on the mat. We're gonna inhale, reaching our left leg up, back, and behind. Setting up for pigeon prep again, so left knee behind the left wrist, left ankle behind the right wrist, and then slowly just inching the legs back, little by little. Again, if you have a blanket or a pillow or any type of prop, you can always place it right underneath your left hip. Really drawing your hips into alignment. As you're ready, we'll just begin to walk down maybe onto our forearms or all the way down onto our mat. Really beginning to breathe into your hips, releasing any tightness, any tension. So we're gonna slowly walk our hands in towards our shins if you haven't already. We're gonna flip our right toes over and send our left leg up and back into three-legged dog. Opening up our hip, our knee, maybe some knee circles feel good, some ankle circles. And slowly lower down all the way onto our knees and onto our booties, sending our legs out long on our mat. We're gonna really ground down through both of our hips, so taking a moment, coming into alignment. So sending our legs out long. Ever so gently, we're gonna begin to flex our toes and pull them back towards our shins as much as we can. We don't really wanna lock out our knees, but we want to just lift our thighs up off of our knees. As you're ready, we're gonna inhale, reaching up out of the waist. Exhale, hinging at the hips, melting forward. Really allowing your chest to guide you here. And then allowing your head to hang heavy. Grabbing whatever feels good, whether it's your shins, your ankles, your toes. Just allowing your lower spine to release here. We're going to begin to roll it all the way up until we're up in a nice straight spine. Maybe taking our shoulders up to the ears, allowing them to relax down our back. We're going to take our right knee and placing the sole of our right foot as close to our right glute as we can. We're going to inhale as we reach up. Exhale, turn and twist over towards the right, placing our right arm behind us. Really pressing our left elbow into the outside of our right knee. And inhale as we lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, twist just a little bit deeper. And then first, just starting with our head, allowing our gaze to be out over our left shoulder. And then allowing our body to follow. Finding a counter twist over to our left. Inhale up into center. And we'll switch our legs. Bringing our left knee in, placing the sole of our left foot towards our glute. Inhale as we rise up, seeing if we can pull our left knee in towards midline. And exhale, turn and twist over to the left. Inhale as we straighten our spine all the way up. Exhale, twisting just a little bit deeper. Finding that nice edge as we twist. And then allowing our gaze, only our gaze, to be out over our right shoulder. And then allowing our body to follow, finding a kind of counter twist on the right side. Inhale, pushing everything up. We're gonna open our legs out long on our mat. So if you wanna open lengthwise, or if you wanna still face forward, it's up to you guys. We're gonna send our legs out long. And wherever you feel like you're moving into that space, you don't want to open your legs so much that immediately there's a bunch of tension. If there's a lot of tension already, then you can just begin to slowly inch your legs just a little bit closer. So we're going to open up our legs, starting to engage in the thighs, beginning to lift our quads up off of our knees, still refraining from locking our knees out completely. And then if it's in your practice, we can pull our toes back, really flexing our feet. And then maybe our heels float up off of the ground. Really keeping a nice straight spine, we're going to walk our arms forward. Finding whatever feels good for you here. Just allowing our body to sink in and rest. We're gonna walk our hands over to the right. And if this is enough, just reaching over towards our right leg, then go ahead and we can stay here. Or if you want to grab the outside of our right foot with our right hand, left fingertips go up and over. Keeping our chest spiraled open. And then slowly walking our hands down through center. We'll take it over to the left side. And then same options on the side if you want to hang out here, or if you want to begin to grab the outside of your left foot with your left hand. Right fingertips up and over. Keeping our chest spiraled open. And then drawing our hands back down through center. And we'll hang out here, allowing everything to hang heavy in the middle. Really identifying any places of tightness, of tension, and seeing if we can send our prana our energy into those spaces, relaxing them just a little bit more. Consciously making that effort to relax and sink in just a little bit deeper into your pose, into your practice. And we're going to slowly just walk our hands in towards our bodies. We're going to swing our legs over towards the front of our mat, making our way onto our back. And we're going to hug our knees in towards our chest. Giving them a nice tight hug, maybe rocking side to side, forward and backwards. There's just massaging out your lower spine. We're going to drop the sole of our left foot onto our mat, placing our right ankle over our left knee. So we're going to move into the figure four pose. And then we're going to reach for the inside. Can you guys see? Of our left thigh. So we're in a reclined pigeon pose. Really think about pushing your right knee out towards the side of the room, still flexing your right toes, while pulling your left knee in. Seeing if you can keep both of your sit bones on the mat still. Maybe even beginning to straighten out through the left leg if that feels good on your body. We're going to slowly lower our left foot all the way down to our mat. We're going to completely cross our right leg over our left. And then send our legs over towards the left. Allowing ourselves to fall into a spinal twist here. Gaze out over the right shoulder. If that feels good on your body. And just allowing yourself to sink in. Maybe even taking your left hand and pushing your left knee ever so gently down if it's not reaching towards the ground yet. We're going to slowly make our way back onto our backs, bringing both knees in towards our chest, giving them both a nice tight hug. We're going to drop our right foot down this time, crossing our left ankle on top. And as you're ready, reaching your arms, interlacing your hands behind your right knee, and floating your right foot up off of the mat. Seeing if we can really engage in the full length of our spine here. So maybe a slight tuck of the chin to lengthen out the back of the neck, making sure both sit bones are down on our mat. Really engaging in both shoulders to pull our right knee just a little bit closer while our left knee kicks out towards the side of the room. Flexing the left toes to protect that left knee. Maybe even beginning to straighten out through the right leg, picking it up towards the ceiling. Seeing how that feels on your body. And we're gonna slowly lower the right toes all the way down towards the mat. We're gonna completely cross our right leg, our left leg, over our right. And then we're gonna take our hips over towards the left side. Our arms can be out long or in cactus. And then gaze out over our left shoulder as we sink deeper into our spinal twist. Really allowing your body to relax and sink in here. If your left knee is floating quite a bit up off of the ground, you can always just gently take your right hand, placing it on top of your left knee. You don't have to put a lot of pressure here. And just ever so gently pushing it down towards the mat. And then we're going to slowly roll onto our backs. We're going to grab the outside edges of our feet with our hands or our big toes with our peace fingers, moving into happy baby. Whatever grip feels more comfortable for your practice today. So same thing here, we want to engage the full length of our spine. So sit bones down on the mat as much as we can. And then slight tuck of the chin for elongation of the back of the neck. As we pull our shoulders down, we begin to pull our feet down towards the mat. Maybe seeing if we can move our legs into a 90-degree angle. Really getting that nice stretch in our inner thighs, maybe even the tops of our thighs. Maybe beginning to straighten into one leg and then into the other. And then slowly releasing our legs down towards the mat. We're going to place the soles of our feet onto our mat distance apart. And then we're just going to windshield wiper out our legs a little bit, allowing them to fall from one side to the other. And taking any last poses that you feel would be beneficial for your practice. And if you feel nice and ready, we're going to go ahead and move into Shavasana, sending our legs out long on the mat, at least mat distance apart, and then allowing our arms to flop open, palms facing up for receiving or facing down for grounding. We can also take one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly to get just a little bit of a deeper connection. And just allowing ourselves to settle in here. Allowing ourselves to completely melt into our mat. Beginning to absorb our practice. Beginning to absorb any emotions, any physical sensations that feel good on our body. As we move through this last pose, seeing if we can allow our mind to stay present on our mat and in our practice. Allowing any clutter to just flow freely out from our body, from our mind. We're going to begin to draw attention back into our physical bodies. First, just beginning to feel our belly rise as we inhale and fall as we exhale. Maybe bringing slight movement into our fingers and into our toes. Gently beginning to shake the head side to side, just allowing it to roll gently on our mat. As you're ready, we're going to place the soles of our feet onto our mat, and reach our arms up above head like it's the first stretch of the morning. And we're gonna roll over onto our right side body, using your arm as a pillow. Just still allowing the sense of peace, the sense of calmness that you've cultivated through your practice. Allowing that to stay with you as you gently push yourself up into a nice, easy seated position. And as you're ready, we're gonna inhale, sweeping our arms all the way up towards the ceiling, maybe even slightly allowing our gaze to be up. And exhale, thumbs down to heart center. Taking a moment and just thanking yourselves for devoting an hour out of your day to your practice. For taking that hour and devoting it to your health, to your well-being during a time that may be hard for us. Just allowing ourselves to always stay true to our practice and to ourselves. And I thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.